Welcome back, dear learners. Before the ad break, we saw the effect of the CJ and we also did the CPJ and how these accounts affect our creditors control account. We will now look at the general journal. Most of you know it as the GJ. What is this GJ? It is a journal in which all transactions that are not recorded in the CIJ, the CPJ, the DJ, DAJ, CJ, the CAJ, and the PCJ are recorded. So if transactions are not recorded in these journals, such transactions, you find them in the GJ. Let us now see, how does the GJ look like? There is my general journal. And in my general journal, you see, I have my creditors control. That is where I'm much interested in. And it is very important. The moment you see your creditors control, remember that on the credit side, it increases. But on the debit side, it decreases. Do you know the reason why? Because this is a liability. We want to see now, how does the GJ amounts affect our creditors control? There it is. The moment you have your debit amounts, this can be as a result of transfers between our debtors account and our creditors accounts. The moment you have such a transaction, it will come to the debit side as it is on the debit side here. You bring it to the debit side and then you say general debits from the GJ, 4,500. Let us look again. What if we have a credit balance? There is a credit amount, 3,900. Again, in our general journal. How then do we record such an amount in the creditors control? Remember our creditors control, as I've said earlier on, this is a liability account. It increases on the credit side. Balance, what we're owing. It is possible that if we do not pay our creditors on time, they will charge us interest. That particular interest will increase what we owe to the creditors. And that is recorded in the general journal. Increasing means credit amount. Hence, it comes here. And I've taught you that on the credit side, you see a plus. And here is my plus on the credit side. It means then, I'll come and say general credits. From which journal am I posting from? From the GJ. How much is there? 3,900. Very important that when you are in your general journal, you have to post. And you can post two amounts from your creditors control, your general debits, which you will debit in your creditors control, your general credits, which you will credit in your creditors control account. We will now look at a complete creditors control account. On the credit side, it increases. On the debit side, it decreases. We started off with a balance of 80,000. That is what we were owing from the previous month. However, we purchased more goods, 58,400. And we have amounts from the GJ. As I've explained, this can also be interest, 3,900. However, we have made payments to our creditors, and the amount is 36,510. When we made these payments, our creditors gave us discounts, and the discount is 620. And we have returned some goods and also asked for an allowance from our creditors, and the amount from the CAJ is 6,900. We also have general debits, as I said earlier on. This can be transfers between our debtors accounts and our creditors accounts, 4,500. You would then look for the side with the highest amount. That is how we close off a ledger account. In this case, our credit side is bigger. You say 80,000 plus 58,400 plus 3,900. That will give you 142,300. Then you have the same amount on both sides, 142,300. Then you now say your 142,300 minus 36,510 minus 620 minus 6,900 minus 4,500, and it will give you now balance carry down 93,770. You then come to the credit side, balance BD 93,770. This is the amount of money that we owe our creditors at the end of this particular month. Once you have completed your creditors control account, it is very important that you keep this in your mind, that the creditors control account is a summary of all transactions that relate to our creditors, and it shows all the amounts owed to creditors and the payments that we would have made to our creditors. When we prepare the general ledger, we will then take the amounts and post them to the trial balance. And in the trial balance, it is very important that you remember the dead click. In this case, we're going to look on our liabilities, because I told you earlier on that creditors control is a liability account. Therefore, it is important to remember that creditors control is a liability, and therefore it is a credit balance in the trial balance. When we prepare our trial balance, our creditors control amount will go to the credit side. And here we have a balance of 93,770. How then do we post it to the trial balance? Remember, your creditors control is a balance sheet account. So it comes to the balance sheet account section, and we will bring the very same 93,770 on to the credit side. Once you have done this, you have completed the process of taking the amount from your creditors control account and posting it on to your trial balance. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. I hope to see you again. Take good care and goodbye.